I'm nearly back to full human mode after the cold took up residence in my chest. Still not there, but it always takes me a while. There's no audience going this week sadly, and unfortunately had a problem on the weekend, which meant I couldn't record, so the podcast is even later than it normally would be. Bear in mind this is last week's podcast. Unfortunately, yeah, problems do happen. I swear, one time at least the show might actually be out on time, without illness and stuff getting in the way. Anyhow, with 17 episodes left before episode 200 is upon us, let's get this show underway. Groantent. Not gonna tell you what it is. But it's here as well, but so are your games, and they are Yes or BS, Please Reverse the Music, the 5-Pound Countdown, and Admin Nicole's Anagram Anxiety. Let's kick the groan pull over and watch how the contents roll. What's a groan pull? It's meant to be an apple cart, but I just put groans and apple together. Yeah, I try to make analogies on this show and they don't always work. I'll start off with my groans. Waste. I don't mark school papers or anything, but it boils my brain when someone writes one word or a line on another bit of paper. Couldn't you have used shorter words or written smaller to just use one page? Senseless waste. Game prices. I've been here before on the show, but I'm doing it again. I'm talking about games that have been out for over 20 years. Some people listening to the podcast won't have been born then. Steam still prices them at £16 to £25 each. What planet are you living on? Knock the price down permanently, popular or not. Taxi apps. This is not against the drivers, it's against the app, and possibly the company. You book a taxi and it literally says, book now, driver 2 minutes away. You book it and suddenly 2 minutes becomes 12 to 20 minutes. I don't understand how that works. The app says 2 minutes away for a taxi. And there were cars nearby. I mean, what the actual hell? 2 minutes is 2 minutes. 2 minutes is not 12 minutes. I'm sorry. Can you imagine cooking working like that? Well, if you open the beef up and you put it in the pan and you cook it for 2 minutes, but when it hits the water, it's going to completely double up or go longer than that. You're going to cook your beef in the water for half an hour instead of 2 minutes. What's the point? Anyhow, those are my groans. Then there'll be more for my groans next week. Unfortunately, there is no audience groan this week. No one contacted the show, unfortunately. Come on, Groaners. We need you to send messages in, Facebook us, do anything you can to give us your groans. You all know the show email by now, thegroanzonepod@gmail.com, as well as the other ways to contact us. Even if you don't want to be named, I can do that for you. I can even not tell people where you are from. If you don't want to be named, I'll leave your name anonymous. Your details will be protected. I'll simply reply to you, go thanks for the groan, and then erase your email. Simple as that. If you're worried about confidentiality, nothing is going to be disclosed. Apart from Facebook, when you make a comment, that's going to be immortalised forever. But anyway, we need your groans and your ideas and your feedback and everything else. Do it, Groaners, because without you, the show wouldn't be what it is. We need you, Groaners. It's called the Groan Zone for all of us, not just for the sake of being a podcast where one gets to voice one's opinion all the time, namely me. We need you. Me and Admin Nicole need you. Give us your stuff. Give it. And we don't mean money. We don't want donations. That will never ever happen. Maybe a GoFundMe down the line for some reason, but no, it's not going to happen. I'm joking about the GoFundMe. We do not need a GoFundMe for the podcast. Never. I'll stop rambling now as we go on to play our first game, which is called Please Reverse the Music. If you're new to the podcast, this is where I play you a tune in reverse, and you've got to try and guess what the tune is. But come the game answer section, you'll not be hearing the forward music, because I'll not be able to play it because I don't want to get sued. But yes, if you can make sense of some of these tunes, well done you. Here we go, round number 1. Yeah, that's a blast from the past, isn't it, Groaners? Good luck with guessing that one. Pause here, have a guess, and then unpause. And here comes round number 2. The picture of the person I give that one away, Groaners, and it was a massive hit when it came out, and also featured on the soundtrack of a certain film. I ain't going to tell you what film, because that would give it away. But pause here, Groaners, have a think, have a guess, and then unpause as round number 3 hits you now. Just giving you the intro on that one, Groaners, because that one was a classic when it came out, in my opinion. A rapper and a pop star. That's all I'm going to say. Male rapper, female pop star. Pause here, Groaners. Have a guess, and then unpause. And that is Please Reverse the Music done. The game answers will come later in the show. And now we've had our first game, but now we're going to, of course, ask the age-old question for the ages, which is, of course, why oh why? We are living in an era now where thieves walk into shops and activate their 5-finger discount and get away with it. Any employee tries to stop them, they get fired. Hello? The employee is trying to save you money, shop owners, and everything else. Nah, sod that. Let's just sack a hard-working person over some bum who thinks it's cool to steal anything from a chipstick dipping pot upwards. I simply don't understand the logic of bigger stores these days. Try this in the USA, and in some cases, you'll have a shotgun pointed at your stupid face. Firing employees who care. I simply must ask, why oh why? Let a security guard do their job. Don't just go, oh yeah, I'll just let you walk out with a television set. What? No. Silly. Silly, silly, silly. Yep, letting blooming shoplifters get away with it. It's a crime! My God. Speaking of gods and everything else, we now move on to Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. Your story for this week is called Betrayal or Love. Grim apologized to Valencia once more, but she wouldn't hear it. He warned Lionel and Dr. Quack that the tree was off limits. Its roots had not yet reached the center of this world, so it was time to turn it back into a seed and return it to the vaults. It was a sizable damage to their plans, especially as Grim only found the Tree of Life was missing by accident, picking up on its signal only once Valencia had gotten close enough to it. Grim ordered his reapers to get to work on uprooting the tree as soon as they could, making sure not to damage it and risk tearing a hole in existence. He then tried to talk to Valencia, but she just asked him to go. She looked at Lionel and Dr. Quack sighing, feeling so many emotions, unsure of which was right. Betrayal, confusion, a strange sense of love. She didn't know what to make of any of it, but she knew she had to return to the stars. She had been away long enough, even if nothing had happened in her absence. I don't know what your big plans are this time. I don't know why you do the things you do. Planning for some grand future, putting your own creations above humans. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe I was. Perhaps humans never should have been at the top of the food chain. Maybe something better should have. It's time. Just stop hurting people. That's all I ask. I know that's not your body either, Dr. Quack, so put your soul back into your own body You got what you needed from this, didn't you? Give Cove back to Harmony and let them go. Destroy the remote and give them peace. Maybe Robin never existed. Maybe he did. Either way, find a way for him to exist again, Valencia asked. Lionel smiled at her, promising they would meet again. He would figure things out with Lily too. Even though it was a lie at first, and they just wanted to stir up trouble, there was a part of him that felt sorry for her. Lionel knew the pain Lily had deep inside herself. Maybe that's why she was chosen. Sometimes it takes one who knows your pain to help you heal from it. Everything was confusing for everyone, and while nothing changed, everything changed. Dr. Quack promised to fix Cove so that the remote was no longer needed, and he would let him leave with Harmony. He still believed he would make a perfect test subject, but he was a success. The first of his kind, a perfect mix of robotics and the DNA of humans and varying marine life. Perhaps there was something he could even do that might allow Cove to grow up. He'd never done that before. As for Robin, the signs were all there, and yet he never knew. Dr. Quack used the tree's power to hide his soul inside the body of his past lives. Just the last 21 though. For the final one, Lionel created a body for him, allowing him to get used to the world outside the facility. Like many before him, Robin was created in these very labs, but he was special. The scientists all knew this. That's why he was sent to grow up in the forest, and why his so-called parents were allowed to show him love from the start. Every scientist knew who he was. Everyone would monitor and watch over him. Everyone except Lionel. He had to be kept in the dark to make sure the plan didn't get altered. They couldn't take the risk of Robin recognizing him. It was a long and lonely plan, even if most of those lifetimes were in the past, and to Lionel, hardly any time passed at all. Yet with Robin, it had to be done in the present, so once everything was safe and set up, Lionel did as his father once taught him. He froze himself next to his father's body until Robin grew up, with Dr. Quack's soul resting inside until the time was right. Valencia absorbed the stars and the handcuffs into herself, releasing them back into the night sky unharmed. Then she smashed the handcuffs to pieces before she began to disappear back where she was meant to be. It was a strange feeling for her, but she felt proud of Lionel and even Dr. Quack, but she still longed for those memories, the ones that were meant for her and possibly even taken from her. Quack assured his son that the plan remained the same. They needed to put his soul back into his own body and put Robin into the cryo chamber in his place. They would figure out what to do with him later. After that, it was time to fix Cove and get as much information out of him as they could. He was their first true success for his generation, and with these modifications and mapping everything out, he would not be the last. They would be able to make many more of his kind even after letting him go. In a way, they were reluctant to let him go, especially Harmony, as she was just as unique, but a promise is a promise. For the first time ever, Quack and Lionel got through to Valencia. No matter what happened, this was the best day in their lives. Lionel's wedding may have been delayed, but he planned to talk to Lily to try and really be there for her in a way he wasn't sure he ever had been. Maybe a gift to cheer up from their estranged reunion with the family. That might complicate matters though, as it would mean explaining that Lionel technically set up the very foundation for these labs when the world itself was created, and set up the beginning of the research that Dr. Quack would go on to influence and direct while hiding out in past versions of himself. However, one thing he did know that might help was that the human DNA used to make Lily and Harmony came from the same human. In every possible way, Lily and Harmony were bound by blood. You know, Nicole, the more I read, the more I get confused, and the more I feel Lionel and Dr. Quack have this world by the short and curlies. If I know you though, Nicole, you'll have a victory for the home team in the pipeline. Well written, as always. We are now going to move on to another game, Groaners, in the shape of the 5-point countdown. And I'm going to do this without writing anything down. So this comes from my own head. Okay? Starting at 5 points, all the way down to 1 point. You've got to be honest when the game answers of where you guessed correctly. If you guessed correctly, but changed your mind and got it wrong, and then changed back, where you change back to is where you start your points from again. Something like that, Groaners. You understand. Here we go. Clue 5 for 5 points. Without me, it wouldn't be possible to have some things have power. Clue 4 for 4 points. I can be many lengths, and many types. Clue 3 for 3 points. I can have various connections, both into the mains and into PCs. Clue 2 for 2 points. I have been going for quite some time now. Clue 1 for 1 point. You can fit many adapters to me at the end of me to make me fit different devices as well as different countries. So Groaners, pause here, go through them all again. Sorry if some of them didn't make any sense. Have a think. What could I possibly be talking about? The answer will come at the end of the show. And Groaners, we've had the YOY, we've had groans and everything else, but now we're going to go for a what the. In the UK now, we are suffering a slow decline of getting energy. In this case, it's from gas. A gas field in East Yorkshire holds a yield of an estimated 8 million cubic meters of natural gas. How much is that? That's a lot, Groaners. Anyone with a mathematical brain will tell you that. This is one of the biggest onshore discoveries in the UK market in history. What does our country go and do with it then? They're going to build a gas-powered Bitcoin data mining centre on it. Last time I checked, Bitcoin was worth a fair bit, but you cannot use it to power homes or keep people warm. Whoever made this choice is a chucklehead, and in my eyes, this is definitely a big what the and should be undone. Use the gas to keep people warm. Use gas for what it's for, energy purposes. And it will take a fair while to go through 8 million cubic square meters or however much it was. Oh, honestly, people in higher decision areas need their heads examined. And now, Groaners, whilst I've been recording the show, I've been doing a bit of research into what could be the zero of the week. Because even though the show was late, I didn't have a zero of the week. And now I've just picked one. So, some of you may have seen a Kevin Costner film quite a few years back called Dances with Wolves. And those of you in the USA may have been following this court case, you may have not been. But there was a man called Nathan Chasing Horse. That is actually his actual name because he's Indian. And Monday, that's yesterday, he's been sent to life in prison for, how can I put this, doing bad things with Indigenous women and girls. That's 13 charges of a certain type of assault. I don't understand why some guys, even some women, think it's okay to do something like this. It is never ever okay to do this to another human being, no matter what race they are or anything, even if they're the same race as you, black on black, white on white, Indian on Indian, whatever. It is not okay. And I'm glad he's got life in prison. Hopefully they don't give him parole ever. You don't deserve to be on the streets, my friend. And that's my friend in a sarcastic sense. He's not my friend. No way, no chance. What he is, though, is a massive waste of human flesh, oxygen, and every other molecule. And with that being said, he is definitely a zero of the week and for all time. You squandered your fame, sir. You are an idiot. And as if that wasn't bad enough, he also exploited the fact that he was their spiritual leader. So he used his status to get what he wanted from them, which is equally despicable. Nah. Double, triple zero of the week. I despair. I really, really do. Disgusting. But moving away from that, Groaners, real quick, because I don't want to dwell any more on that or I'll just get angry. We're going to jam two games together. One is going to be the alternating weekly game, which is, of course, this week, Admin Nicoles Anagram Anxiety. Then right after that, we're going to do Yes or BS. And then we're going to go into the game answers right after that. So, your anagram for this week from Admin Nicole is Adria, or Adria, musical. That's A-D-R-I-A, and then musical, M-U-S-I-C-A-L. Your clue being, is it a vampire or is it a monkey? Admin Nicole believes I'm going to get this. I hate to disappoint you, Admin Nicole, but I haven't got a clue. Again, it seems the ones you think are easy, I never ever get. I think, what's my score? Maybe 3 or 4 anagrams in the entirety of your length with the show so far, doing anagrams. So that's quite a lot I've missed out on. If you got a clue, Groaners, you might get it. Good luck to us all. Stick with the luck though, Groaners, because here comes Yes or BS. 3 rounds of complete random facts. Remember what you're doing. You are trying to avoid the false statements. If you pick the false statements, you get no points. If you get a point in round 1, you guess a false one in round 2, your points get blanked. Heaven help you if you got points in round 1 and 2, and then you guess wrong in round number 3. You get no points. That's how it works. Round 3 is all about the redemption. That's what round 3 is number for those that have lost any points in round number 1 or 2. Good luck, Groaners. Here we go. Round number 1. The sadly all about extinction round. A. The Philippine eagle is one of the most endangered birds in the world at the moment, with 400 pairs of them left due to deforestation. B. Antarctic krill are dying out, and that is putting some seal populations at risk. C. The vaquita, that's V-A-Q-U-I-T-A, which is a small porpoise that's only found in Mexico, is one of the rarest and most endangered mammals in the world, with only 10 of them left currently. Pause here, Groaners, pick your statement, and then unpause as we move on to round number 2. The Have I Got a Bone to Pick With You round. A. There are 16 bones in the human face. B. The longest bone ever found was 8 foot long and belonged to a Titanosaurus. Or C. Birds have hollow bones. Pause here, Groaners. Pick your statement and then unpause. Last round, round number 3, the ain't half heavy round. A. The world's heaviest onion weighed over 18 pounds. B. The heaviest banana weighed in at 150 kilograms. Or C. On average, a single wild strawberry weighs about 0.5 grams to 1 gram. Pause here, Groaners, pick your statement, and then unpause. The game answers are coming really soon. I said they were coming. Here they are. Starting off with what the hell are we from last week. The species or name of penguin I was looking for was the Great Emperor Penguin. I say great because I just think they are great. It's the Emperor Penguin, and they are the ones that you often get in the UK. They're on the front of penguin biscuits, one of my favourite guilty pleasure snacks. What was I talking about with a 5-point countdown? What I was talking about was USB or power cables, although I don't think I talked about them very well and probably confused myself and you Groaners. Sorry about that. And for Please Reverse the Music, your first one was MC Hammer with You Can't Touch Us. Your second one was Eminem, Lose Yourself. And the third one was Flow Rider featuring Nelly Furtado with Jump. Well done if you got any of those, Groaners. And here we go. It's just been done. Yes or BS. Here we go. The answers are: for round 1, if you went for B, you have no points. For round 2, if you went for A, you have no points. For round 3, if you went for B, again, you've got no points. So if you went for the false statement, Groaners, at any point, so if you got points in round 1, but then guessed wrong in round 2, you've been blanked. That's how it works. Be honest about where you got blanked. If you got a clean sweep, well done. And well done to anyone that scored points this week. And that, Groaners, takes us to the end of the show. Hope you enjoyed it this week. We'll be back with the podcast coming out for this Sunday, and it will be out for this Sunday. I'm going to be away, unfortunately, for the bank holiday weekend, because I need a little bit of a holiday after the way I've been feeling. So the podcast will be recorded in advance and will be sent out on Sunday, Groaners. We hope you enjoyed that episode as well. Take care out there. We'll see you next week, sooner than you think. Bye-bye. Grim apologized to the